Coming up on today's Sidewalks Entertainment.
I remember him from the original Ghostbusters films, and I am so excited that he's in the new Ghostbusters films, reprising his role as Winston. If you know who I'm talking about, and you know, you know. Ernie Hudson will be joining us right here on Sidewalks Entertainment.
Plus, we went to our archives and found our lost 2007 interview with Ernie Hudson when we met him at WonderCon. So don't get slimed as Sidewalks Entertainment begins right now.
Here to talk about the supernatural comedy film Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'd like to welcome Ernie Hudson to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi Ernie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. Great to be with you.
Ghostbusters Afterlife isn't your first time playing the role of Winston. Big fans will know you from the original 1980s Ghostbuster films. Of the two original Ghostbuster films, which was your personal favorite? And what do you remember most about working on that film?
Well, my favorite was the original movie because it was so original. What I loved most about it was working with the guys, Bill Murray especially, being on the streets in New York and the fans. Wasn't quite sure what it was, but just loving and appreciating the group so much. So putting on the jumpsuit, just sharing that experience with Harold Ramis. It was just a wonderful time in my life, and it was very special.
So the special effects back then were a little bit different than they are today. How complex were they back then?
Well, back then it was practical. So if you had a monster, you had to kind of build a monster, and sort of now, of course, it's all digital and done in the studio mostly. But I love the practical. You had a chance to work off of something, and now even things have advanced, but the movie holds up pretty well. Those special effects are a little bit, a little old, but they still hold up pretty good.
So were you able to keep any of the props from the movies after filming concluded?
Well, studios don't like for you to take their props, but I did. I took my jumpsuit only because Harold Ray. I was
Nice.
the last day of I was putting my jumpsuit away, and Harold said, "Ernie, you gonna take the jumpsuit?" And I said, "No." He said, "Ernie, we're the Ghostbusters. Take the jumpsuit." So I took my jumpsuit. I have all my jumpsuits from the different movies, including this last one. So
Oh, that's so
yeah, but other
awesome.
than that, yeah, no other props, but definitely my jumpsuit.
So you reprised your role as Winston in the film Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, Winston's a character that you played 32 years ago, and now you're playing him again in this day and age. What was it like to work on this film?
Well, this was very special. Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son, was 6 years old when we made the first movie, and Ivan produced and directed the first two movies. And but Jason has grown up and become an amazing director in his own right. And when he took over the helm, I knew that it would be special because I knew he loved the franchise. Um, and I wanted something fans have been asking for so long, and I wanted whatever we did to be personal and special. And I think he accomplished that in this movie.
So, how does it feel to see the Ghostbusters fan base continue to grow after all these years with the Halloween costumes and the new movies?
I'm so honored and flattered. I've seen, ectomobiles made out of people's cars. I've seen
Yeah.
people with tattoos of me and the other Ghostbusters on their bodies, and I've seen this all over the world, not just in uh, one or two countries. I mean, literally all over the world. There are Ghostbuster franchises, chapters, I should say, in every major city in the States and in most of the countries. that's extraordinary and unlike anything else I've ever done. I know they're the big tentpole movies like Star Wars and Star Trek and all that, but Ghostbusters is the little engine that suddenly it's still standing after all this time.
So one last question before we wrap. As you mentioned, you have a lot of fans, many fans of Ghostbusters, the Ghostbuster movies, the Ghostbuster characters, your character. What would you like to say to your fans?
Well, just Ghost in my mind is just busting those fears, to just go to face those fears and move past them, and just be inspired by the movie. I love this new movie because the Winston character is given some body to it. And as we move forward with the franchise, I encourage people just move forward in your own lives and just don't let the ghost stop you from doing anything that you want to do.
Well, great, great work. It was such an honor to speak with you today. Thank you so much. You're just fantastic.
Thank you. All right, you take care.
Everyone, that was Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters Afterlife, available digital, Blu-ray, and DVD.
Thanks, Lori and Ernie. We actually met Ernie back in 2007 when we bumped into him at WonderCon. Our then host, Raphael Siegel, had a chance to interview the actor.
Hey, we're still here at WonderCon, and look who you run into. You run into amazing actors like this gentleman. You might know him from from Ghostbusters and from a lot of other movies, but this is Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson,
Hey.
welcome to Sidewalks.
Raphael, thank you, man. It's great to be here, really.
This is your first WonderCon event, is it?
First WonderCon, and wasn't sure what to expect, but it's been great. The fans have been great. You know, people have been coming out, very supportive. That's the nice thing about doing these things. You get a chance to hear from the fans and sort of one-on-one and shake hands, and it's just really cool.
You know what I find interesting? You're known for Ghostbusters, yet that was so long ago, and you've had so many other great roles in your career. Is that the role that you're most known for, is your role in Ghostbusters?
Yeah, you know, Ghostbusters, it was such a popular, film at the time it came out, and kids sort of keep rediscovering it. So like a lot of little kids are coming, they're big fans of Ghostbusters. So it just stays around, and which is great. I mean, it's great because you do so many that people don't see. It's great to have one that people really responded to.
The role that I really love you in is the hand that rocks the cradle. That we'll probably get some B-roll of this, and it was such a powerful role. You played someone who was, what's the PC term nowadays? Someone who was a little slow, maybe.
Mentally disabled. And it was great to get a chance to do it because normally guys like me, a certain size, we don't get a chance to show that kind of vulnerability, and I really haven't had a chance to do it since. So for me, it was a chance to do something very, very different.
Well, you were really able to flex your acting muscle. What is your acting training? I mean, is it theater-based? Is it, what is it? What is your training?
Yeah, I've been acting for a long time, 40 years, and the first 10 years was really on stage. And I graduated from Wayne State University in Detroit, went to Yale School of Drama, the University of Minnesota. And so I did a lot of years of really preparing because I knew that, I want a long career. Not just, get a series and then it's all over. I want to be able to do this for the rest of my life.
If you hear Ernie Hudson's voice and my voice, when I call people, a lot of times they go, is this Ernie Hudson? No, you have a very distinct voice. Any voiceover work that you're working on?
No, nothing that, no. I mean, I've done a little bit from time to time. People, I get a lot of comments about my voice. In my mind, it's very high.
No.
But, so I don't, you never know how you sound, so.
Just like in my mind, I'm very tall, but, that's the way it works. What are you working on now? What are we going to see you in?
Well, I've been doing a recurring thing on Desperate Housewives. There was an episode of, I think, Bones on about a week ago. There was an episode of Cold Case. I mean, I do, some of the episodic stuff from time to time, but I just finished a movie called All Hat with Keith Carradine and Luke Kirby. There's a movie called Nobel's Son with Alan Rickman and Bill Pullman. Murray Steenburgen's in it. There's a thing called Lonely Street with Joe Mantegna that's coming out. Snoop Dogg, we did a movie called Snoop Dogg's Hood of Tour that's coming out. I suppose it's already been out, so hopefully soon. And so I just stay busy.
Yeah, it sounds like you're keeping yourself busy. Keep yourself out there. We want to see a lot more of you.
Great.
Ernie Hudson, thanks for joining us here on Sidewalks.
Oh, my pleasure,
Thanks
man.
a lot.
Thanks so much for taking the time.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit SidewalksTV.com.